So I was driving by a place this morning and I noticed out of nowhere the most beautiful Panicle Hydrangeas on either side of the front door that I had ever seen in my life. I mean, they were absolutely stunning, a complete showstopper. In fact, I'm going to put a picture here. I'll probably blow it up in front of this whole thing for you right now. Absolutely beautiful. I stopped and talked to the people. They told me that they were 8 years old. They planted them about 8 years ago. They were nicely pruned. You could tell that they had taken care of them. They had taken their time with them and really were proud of these Panicle Hydrangeas in front of their place. They even told me that people have stopped by there over the years just to get pictures of themselves in front of these hydrangeas. They're right on the side of a small town road. Actually, it's not quite a small town anymore, but anyway, they're just right on the side of the road there. The house is pretty close and anybody driving by can see them. They just loom up like crazy right when you're driving by. But here they are. They actually let me take some cuttings of them. They've got really thick stalks on them, but look at those flowers. Aren't they just beautiful? I don't know the exact variety of this hydrangea, and I'm not going to get into the whole patent thing. I'm not doing this for selling them. I'm doing them to potentially plant them in front of our new house that we're building. But I'm going to see if I can get these things to root. They were really awesome, really generous people. They said, yeah, go ahead, take a few cuttings of it, get them home and see if you can get them to root. Now, these are going to be sort of a semi-hardwood cutting. It's later in the summer, it's August, and I've never tried to do this before with Panicle Hydrangeas in this late of the summer. Normally you would take these in the late spring, early summer, where the wood is still green and supple and real easy to work with, and they would just root like crazy. But these can also be rooted as hardwood cuttings. So I'm hoping that maybe I can get some of these rooted as semi-hardwood cuttings. We'll see what we can do. Now my plan with these is to do the same thing that I've always done with the roses when I take them in the mid to late summer and do semi-hardwood cuttings. You guys have seen plenty of those videos. I'll put links to some of them down in the description if you don't remember them or haven't seen them. But we're going to try the same thing with these. I'm going to use a gallon container if I can find one. In fact, I think I see one right over there. We're going to use probably a 2-gallon pot, and we're going to get a whole bunch of them stuck in there. Let's go. Now, unfortunately, to make this happen, I've got to cut these flowers off, and I want to go up kind of high. The reason is because I want to get as soft a wood as I can possibly get, and that's going to be near the top. So we're going to cut this flower off right here. And that's no problem if there's a flower on the end of the cutting. A lot of people ask about that. You just need to cut it off, and the rest of the green material will actually root. I'm hoping this will root. Like I said, I've never tried to root a semi-hardwood cutting of a Panicle Hydrangea, but we're going to find out if we can make it happen. So I'm going to cut this down probably. We'll see. I've got leaf nodes all along here, and I'm thinking I want to leave bigger cuttings, but let's go, that's 6 inches right there. And then we'll just strip the leaves off of these guys. Except for the top leaves, I'm going to leave in place. Now, they're not wilting. I think it was just how it was laying on the plant here is why they're drooped down. But we're going to cut most of the leaf material off here. One, to save room in here when I've got multiple cuttings. And also, it allows better airflow, so the leaves aren't all laying on each other and moisture stuck between them and, you know, contributing to rot. And those are the two big main reasons why you would snip the leaves back like that. The last reason is because when you snip them back, they don't lose as much moisture from the plant. And so it ends up helping in the long run to get these guys to root before they rot or die back. And there goes the cat. So we're going to get some holes poked in these guys. I'm going to dip them in rooting hormone, and then we'll get them put in the pot. Now, I'm sure I'll get this question again like I always do. A lot of times people come along and say, hey, Mike, are you really supposed to dip your plants directly into the hormone bottle? And the answer is, well, I guess technically no, but this is an old bottle. I've had it for a long time. It's the last remaining ends of it, and I do this all the time with plants. I've never had a problem with contamination. I still get the same rooting potential. I'm not really worried about it, and I don't think you should be either. I think people focus on the wrong things sometimes, but this is Hormidin 3. It's a stronger rooting hormone. I use it for rhododendrons, but we're going to use it for these guys in this case as well. I use it a lot around here and tend to have it in bulk supply. There goes the cat again. And so I have it on hand all the time, but I've dipped it in here, and what I'll usually do is let these guys sit on the side for a few minutes and kind of absorb some of that hormone, and then we'll use a little dibbler, and we'll poke some holes in here because the dibbler police are out as usual, and we'll get these guys stuck. And as usual, I'm sure everybody's going to want to know, what do you do with the flowers when you're done, Mike? Well, just like I said before, you take them inside for your wife. All right, some time has passed, and these have had a chance to soak up some rooting hormone here. So I'm going to go ahead and dibble some holes in this rooting medium, and this is just finely ground fir tree bark. You guys have seen that before, and I use that because that's what's readily available in my area. It's inert. It doesn't rot very easily at all. It's a great rooting medium for that reason, and it holds moisture, and so, but it also drains very well, and so it's just a really great rooting medium. It's just a byproduct of the logging industry in my area. You should find something that's easy to get in your area and local. It just makes life a lot easier on you, and you can get an unlimited supply. If you can't find anything close to this, even pine bark would probably work real well. If you can't find anything close to this material or something that is similar, that drains well, is inert, and doesn't holds a little bit of moisture and doesn't rot, then sand is always a great replacement for something like this. Sand it just makes a perfect rooting medium. Like I said, it meets all those criteria. I've got a video about this that I did years back, and it seemed to help a lot of people out. It's all about rooting medium, what good types of rooting medium are if you're confused or not understanding that process. I'll put a link to that video down in the description below. And it looks like, once we're all said and done here, I'm not pushing too hard, but I'm just kind of firming them in. So it looks like I got them all to fit in one pot here, which is kind of nice. I can save this for something else. And then I've got this 1 gallon bottle that I used for roses in the past with the bottom cut off of it. I don't know where the cap is. It has been lost to the sands of time, but you can always cover it with anything if you need more humidity to build up. But I'm going to place this over all these cuttings, and then I don't need anything sealed up perfect. It's just going to sit there. A little bit of airflow can go down below. If you're worried about losing too much humidity too fast, you can pile something up around the edges there, and that will prevent airflow going through there so that it holds more humidity. You can also cap the top and watch more humidity build up. I'm just going to watch them real closely. I don't want this to heat up too much in here. I like this being able to vent some heat, but I will keep an eye on it so that we know it's not going to lose too much moisture, and these leaves are going to wilt. So it's kind of a touchy-feely thing. You watch it for a little while in the very beginning. You make sure you got everything set right, and then once you know that things are on their way, you can kind of forget about it. So I did go ahead and fill in some of the bark around here so that I don't lose too much moisture. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a lot of airflow going down under there and then blowing out the top. So I did leave the cap off. I can't even find the cap right now, but we're going to see how that goes. We'll monitor it for a while, but it'll at least keep some of the heat from building up in there, and I want that because I think I'm going to leave this in the hoop house for right now, which can get a little bit warmer when the sun is out. So we'll just keep an eye on them. In the meantime, I'm going to grab this watering wand here, and we're just going to kind of water things in one last time. Like I said, you can't do this with every medium. Potting soil, you may not be able to water this heavily, but with something like this material, it drains so well, and it just makes sure that everything's very moist and getting the best start possible. So we'll set this aside, keep an eye on it. And today is, I believe, August 17th. So we'll come back when something has happened. All right, so that was August 17th. Today is August 18th, except it's a year later. So let's go take a look at these little Panicle Hydrangeas and see what came of them. And here they are. And I'm going to show you something in just a second that's going to blow you away. But I had these sitting where I showed you, somewhere in the hoop house right by that spot, with that little 2-gallon, was it, or a gallon? It was a gallon water bottle top. I had it sitting on there all winter long just to help protect from frost, even though we're in this hoop house here. I wanted to protect from frost and make sure they were good to go. Now, all the leaves fell off. They went dormant. I didn't know what was going to happen. Spring came. I finally took that off, but only one of them started growing. Now, I've left these in there all this time. Let's pull them out and see what happened. Ooh, that was tough. I wonder if we had roots down in there at one point. Maybe not. Yeah, they had some roots, but they're rotted now. I don't know what happened. They just, all of these, oh, we had some more roots there. All of these took, which, to be honest, I wasn't sure if any of them were going to take. All of them, it looks like took, or kind of took, started rooting and then died back, except for this one right here. It actually survived. And I'm going to pull some weeds and show you. I'm pretty excited about this because I got this thing to actually start from a semi-hardwood cutting, which I didn't think was going to happen. And then it has been just growing like crazy all summer long. Now, the branch, I'm going to show you this here just a second. The branches got really long and heavy early on in the summer, and this one fell over and broke. So then it shot up new branches here that are getting tall. And I'm going to do another project, which is kind of stemming off of this one. We'll do that later on, but I'm going to take cuttings of all of these and try to multiply them as much as I can because I want to plant a bunch of these around my place. But I saved these 2 branches here and let them grow and turn into blooms. And check this out. These things are huge. They're so heavy, they're just falling over. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is absolutely fabulous. This massive, massive bloom here. Now, they start out white as they open up, and then they eventually turn pink from the bottom up, I believe, and then kind of a chartreuse as they get later into the fall. But that, I mean, look at that thing, comparison to my hand here. Just a huge, beautiful bloom. Absolutely gorgeous, and it's all coming from that. The other one's blooming too. It's just a little bit behind, but it's got a massive bloom here, just starting to open up. I think I'm going to cut off this one and make cuttings out of it. This one I'm going to leave and see it finish out. But these guys, I'm going to chop them up into cuttings, and we're going to use that triple cut method that I've shown you in the other videos. I'll put links to those down below if you're interested. But there it is. It worked. We've now got, and now, of course, you know, all these didn't make it. But that's okay. I just wanted one of them to make it. Now, softwood cuttings, like what these are, will root much more easily and readily. I'll probably get a ton of these to root. I just wanted the genetics on my property. I just wanted to have that hydrangea, and by getting just one of them to root and grow into a beautiful plant, I now have it. I can root the heck out of all these softwood cuttings. I'll probably get 2-3 cuttings off of every branch here, including that one that's starting to bloom there. And we'll be able to take these on and just grow out a ton of them in 1-gallon pots. And then once those get even bigger, well, you know, it'll just multiply exponentially. So there you go. We made it. We've arrived. We've got beautiful new growth off of these guys and beautiful blooms on our new hydrangea. And this is a Panicle Hydrangea. And I don't have any of these on the property, but now I can't say that anymore. All right, so there you go. I guess Panicle Hydrangeas can be rooted as semi-hardwood cuttings, although we didn't get real good, beautiful results out of it. We did get one good, beautiful result, and we'll be able to take that out and just propagate the heck out of it and get all kinds of those things growing on this property. But I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed that bloom. I know I did. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow along. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.
When the morning